Good evening, all. I'm Epstein with your metals market wrap-up, and this is your weekend edition, and it is for Sunday, the 8th of January, 2023. I'm late. I caught the flu. I caught it actually Thursday, and it put me down on Friday and Saturday. Today was just a day where sleeping and watching football, so I'm late, all right? But it was not fun. That's what I can tell you. Not COVID. I had the COVID tests at home, never caught the COVID. But that went through. And it wasn't a terrible flu, but it's enough to make you very uncomfortable. All right. So what we're looking at is what's the dollar going to do? Because that's going to be the driving force for the metals, other than the copper. The driving force for the copper is certainly going to be what happens with the U.S. dollar and what's going to happen with China. Now, I still think the worst news is yet to come out of China and COVID, and I don't think it will end until we get past the Lunar New Year, which let's call it mid-February. So I think there's another 4 or 5 weeks of problems that'll be there. Not only the regular spread of COVID, but if the people there travel as they traditionally do, they can spread the disease around. I mean, look, I don't go out that much. I caught the flu. So, and I'm telling you, I go to the grocery store, things like that. I'm not out that much. And that's, you just catch these things. There's nothing you can do. You touch things, push the carts. I got to get out. My wife says I got to get out and do some things. All right. But that gets me friendly, if you will, the other currencies. Still friendly, the gold, the silver, the copper, the platinum. They're all looking pretty good to me. When you watch the grain markets, that's all going to be South American weather. There's even harvest beginning in certain parts of South America already. And on the energy markets, most are a bit higher tonight. So we do have the inflation story still alive. As you can see in gold, we've had a one-direction move literally since back here. Now, admittedly, that's a monthly chart, and for the month, it's up 2.67%. But remember, today is the first day of the second week of the month, so that's not a bad gain that it's putting on so far. When I look at the weekly charts, you've come straight from 1641.70 all the way up here now to over a $200 rally in a nice move, and I'm proud to say I caught parts of that at least. In the weekly charts, you can see how the market keeps moving to the upside. The pattern is one of higher lows, higher highs, definition of an uptrend. The market is over the 100-day average. I said day, 100-week average right now. This is the 18-week, and the gray is the 200-week. I didn't make the change mentally from week to day. When I look at Bollinger Bands, this is what's my problem. I'm right there. So at any point here, you can get a better correction. When you come back down, I'm looking for the support at $17.99. And the bigger story, and there is a bigger story, is will over the next week, week and a half, the 18-week average march up and start attacking the 100-week average and give you a crossover that's real bullish. Why would it be real bullish? If the red gets over the green, which is the 100-day, you'd have the 18 over the 100 over the 200. That's just a classic bullish setup. And you would hear instant talk, $2,000 an ounce. When I look at these slow stochastics, they're embedded. So I think on the breaks in the market, the pros are going to be buyers. That's what I'm looking for. In the gold-silver ratio, the ratio is still on a weekly basis. Came down, got a correction. Maybe silver's ready to start gaining a little on the market now. Here, too, the battleground is the 100-week average of closes, but something bullish is happening here. You just had a crossover where the 18-week just got over the 200-week average. You haven't done that in a while. The market was fighting. If you take a look at this, it got under it right back here in August and stayed there. The market got over the average, and this is the first time it got back under it. Is it real important? I don't think so. But I think it's something we look at. That's all. It's not the same if the market were coming from much lower levels. Basically, this market has stayed over the 18-week average the whole time. In the copper market, as I look at it, you have a market that's entering the overbought status. You're looking at the market up. The market's building in already, right now, that China's going to be a big powerhouse later this year. I'm not talking the end of the year. Later is February, March, April, as it starts applying a lot of economic stimulus to the economy as COVID peaks. I don't think they should do anything, frankly. I think they should talk about the stimulus and apply it after the peak. Give it the most bang for the dollar you can get. In the platinum market, these are new highs. You're very quietly coming up and challenging this. Nobody's paying attention. This is a big move in the platinum market. And the dollar index, because of the embedded reading, I think these rallies are getting sold by the pros, and that's just what I think they'll keep doing. I think they're just going to keep selling them and working the market that way. Now, where's the plays going to come in? They're going to come in eventually against these Bollinger Bands. You can count on it. And I've been looking at that real hard. If you haven't learned Bollinger Bands, pay attention to right here, and I will see you tomorrow. Welcome. I'm Ira Epstein, and I'm here to talk about my enhanced Bollinger Band course. Now, many of you have taken my regular charting course, and if not, you might think you know something about Bollinger Bands. As you know, Bollinger Bands are an algorithm designed to keep the market trading within it 95% of the time. And on a chart, it will offer on the top part resistance, on the bottom support, and the idea is the market will travel within them. We know that sometimes it latches onto that band, goes up or goes down. Well, how do you play with that? Can you pyramid the positions off that type of thinking? Well, I've applied all three of these into 13 different videos that teach you my concept of it. And from that concept, you're able to work with weekly charts and or daily charts. The 13 videos, each about 7 minutes long. The idea here is not to put you in school forever, but to teach. Now, if you haven't tried my complete futures research, I throw that in as well. Whether you've tried this or not, I think it's worth taking a look at. I think you're going to learn something from there. That research, by the way, covers twice daily market updates for you and access to what I call window envelope numbers, which I think are very important when looking at these Bollinger Bands. The next part is a trial to our charting software so you can make your charts look the same way that mine do. It's that simple. Where do you go with it and how do you get all this? It's simple. You go to our website, www.iraepstein.com. If you go to the word education, everything you need is answered there. You can also call my staff. They'll be happy to help you get set up. I'm Ira Epstein on the road to your education.